quickly. She must have heard the dread in my voice. At least, not recently. What do you mean? You know how they started the lighthouse renovation? Yeah, I said. I couldn't believe they started in February, in that brutal weather. They're trying to get it done before tourist season, she reminded me. After years of discussion, the island had recently decided to renovate its historic lighthouse, which had been boarded up for years. I was all in favor of the project, of course. Not only are lighthouses a big attraction for visitors and potential guests, but there was something magical about the round white building that graced Cranberry Point. Anyway, I guess you haven't heard the big news. They found a skeleton hidden inside it. You're kidding me, I said, my eyes drawn to the windows and the innocent-looking lighthouse in the distance. I'd gone by that lighthouse a zillion times, as had everyone else on the island, and had never imagined that there was a body inside it. The hairs on my arms stood up just thinking about it. Nope. Apparently it's an adult, but that's all they know at this point. They're taking it to a lab on the mainland for testing. A shudder passed through me. So that's 2 historic murders on the island. I'd recently discovered that a young woman had been murdered almost 150 years ago in the Gray Whale Inn, and although it had never been solved, I'd found a diary that implicated one of the island's most prominent citizens. How many other secrets were hidden on the island, I wondered. Biscuit, my ginger-colored and slightly obese tabby, brushed against my legs, and I jumped. They don't know if it was historic, Charlene said. And no one said it was a murder. Why else would you board someone up in a building? I asked. Biscuit had started a plaintive meowing. To quiet her, I grabbed the bag of cat food and filled her bowl. I know a few of your guests would have benefited from a little time in solitary confinement. True, I said, thinking of some of the colorful characters I'd hosted since opening the inn a year earlier. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on the skeleton, she said. Do you need any help getting everyone to the inn? At the mention of my guests and my groceries, I glanced out the window at the van. Unless I could magically get it to start, I was in a bit of a pickle. Most of the time, I relished the quaintness of living on an island where all of your supplies were delivered by mailboat. That was, until I had 10 people with very strict dietary requirements scheduled to stay for a week. I can't get the van to work. What's wrong with it? I don't know. It just won't start. The problem is, how am I going to get my groceries from the dock to the inn? I asked. And the guests. She said. Why don't you take the guests over in the skiffs? It's supposed to be a gorgeous day, and that's sure to make an impression. I don't know. If it doesn't start, just bring over the little Marion. Get John to bring Mooncatcher, too. Between you, John, and Eliezer, we can manage. I glanced out the window at the water, which was a bit choppy today. Unless a storm came up and turned the sea into Italian meringue, getting my handsome neighbor and the island's shipwright to help out just might work. I glanced out at the van. If I can't get it started, I just may do that. Will you ask Eliezer when he stops by for coffee? I knew the boat builder would be at Charlene's store today, not just for the sweets, but for a respite from his good-hearted, but rather stern wife. Sure. She paused for a moment, then asked, Any word on the personal trainer? Charlene was between men at the moment and actively looking for a new romantic interest, which she could easily have found among any number of smitten lobstermen on the island. Her curvy, padded figure and caramel-colored locks had been the subject of many local yearnings. Unfortunately for the lobstermen, though, none had passed muster. You're in luck, I said. From what I hear, he's male, blonde, and very handsome. Straight? You'll have to ask him that yourself, I said, grinning. In a place the size of Cranberry Island, which boasted a population of approximately 100 year-round residents,